Okay, so today we're going to look at solving systems of quadratic equations. Okay, so back in Math 1, a long time ago, you did systems of linear equations. Okay, so you looked at pictures that looked like this. Wow, that's really bad. Hold on. That's my bad. There we go.
Oh, Miss Mill, really?
First off, what does the word systems mean? More than one. Okay, when we're doing a system, we're looking at more than one. Okay, so last year you looked at more than one linear, which means more than one line. You had a picture that looked like this. What was the solution to this picture? No solution. Why? They don't cross. There's no solution here. What about this one? One solution. It's where they cross. And this one is many solutions.
I was going to say infinite.
Infinite, many, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So when you can only see one of the lines, that's because the other one is right smack on top.
Whoa.
Okay. All right. So now, instead of having two lines, you're either going to have a line and a quadratic or two quadratics. So we're still solving, which means where they cross. Okay. So we're looking at more than one, and we're trying to find out where they cross. Question. Okay. Flippy the page. Okay. So we are going to the inside on the left flap of your brochure. Now we're looking at systems of quadratics and linear equations. So you have one parabola and one line. Okay, these are your options. I can have a no solution, just like you had with linear. My quadratic's up above my line, or it could be down below my line. Okay, one solution. It only crosses once. Okay, so it's somewhere like right in here. And then I can also have two solutions. The line goes through my quadratic twice. So here and here. But the solutions are still the same. I'm still trying to find out where they cross or where they intersect. Okay. So I'm going to show you two different ways to do this, because you all learned substitution and elimination and all that happy stuff. Okay. I'm going to tell you this right now. Most of you are going to resort back to solving graphically. Okay. It's easier. But I want to give you all of the options. So here is example 1. Nope. Got to make it bigger so you can see it. Okay. So we have graphed. Whose music is so stinking loud that I can hear it up here? Okay. Thank you. Driving me crazy. Okay. So y equals negative x plus 1. That's your line on your graph. Okay, so that's this one. This is this. And your quadratic, x squared, is this one. So, looking at this picture, where do these both have the same y value?
4.
Okay, so here, What's that point? -3, 4. And it also crosses here, which is 1, 0. Done. That's it. That's your answer. You're done.
What?
What?
I like this one. Oh my gosh.
Wait, they can give you the graphic.
Yeah, and it only be exactly on
I'm going to show you how to do this on your calculator if they just give you equations. Then I'm going to blow your mind later, too.
Don't you go to like intersection?
Yes. Okay. How would I solve one of these algebraically? Take a look. This is the same one. This is the same problem. We're just doing it both ways so you can see the difference. So, it says first, substitute the linear equation into the quadratic. So, the y of my quadratic is now going to be the right-hand side. So, this is substituting in here. So, my equation will look like -x plus 1 equals x squared plus x minus 2. You remember this now?
Yes.
It's clicking. Yay! Okay, in order to solve this, I need to set it equal to 0. So, my suggestion to you is to keep your x squared positive. So, I would move everything to the right-hand side. So, when I do that, my -x becomes positive x. Notice I put it right underneath the x because that's where it goes. It combines with that. And when I move my positive 1, -1. So now I've got 0 on the left, and I have x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay, from this point, you can either complete the square, quadratic formula, or factor. What would you like to do?
Complete the square.
You would like to complete
this.
Woo!
I just forgot how to do that, so like.
Okay, let's complete the square.
My bad. I said this.
There might be a beat down after class today. Just careful.
I mean, if it's harder, then we will go ahead and let the hardest one.
Okay, just know that all of these are options. Okay, so when I complete the square, that means I want my C value away. So, x squared plus 2x, when I move my C value, it becomes positive. Please don't get confused because I switched the sides of the equal sign that everything was on. You are allowed to switch both sides. Okay. So now we need to take B, cut it in half, which gives me 1. When I square it, 1. So this becomes x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 3 plus 1.
So, parentheses x plus 1 squared, parentheses squared.
Okay, good. Equals 4. Remember, the number that goes here is the number that we got here. Okay, that's half of your B value. So now we take the square root of both sides. So you get x plus 1 equals plus or minus 2. So then you've got x plus 1 equals positive 2, and x plus 1 equals negative 2. Okay, so when I subtract 1 from both sides, I get x is 1. And when I subtract 1 here, I get x is negative 3. Those should match your x values that you got in the graph.
So now we're going to go walk.
Okay, again.
Oh, I know what to do. Come on.
So, this is my thing. Most of you are going to resort back to graphing. Why? It's easier. Okay, it's 20 times easier. Okay, just be cautious if they ask you to do the steps of something. Okay, that's the only reason that I teach you all of the methods. Okay, trust me, I could make math 2 super duper easy if we literally did the easiest way to do everything. But the problem is, when you get into the higher maths, if you don't know the complicated way to do things, you're screwed when you get to the higher maths because you need that as a basis to do the higher maths. So you're going to have to divide polynomials next year. You need to know how to factor to do that. You cannot do that without factoring. So if you suck at factoring, you need to take some time to learn it. Okay? There are bases that you need to know for next year. Okay? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay? Let's go to the middle of our brochure now. This page? No, the middle. Where it says systems of 2 quadratics. I can still, in this instance, have no solution where your quadratics, you've got one facing up and one facing down and they never touch. You can have one solution where the vertices touch. Or you can have 2 solutions where they overlap and they cross twice. Okay, so take a look at this one. How many solutions do I have here? One solution. What is this point? 1, negative 1. Okay. 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 So, again, same problems. I'm going to show you how to do this algebraically. So, again, substitute one equation into the other one for y. So, we end up with x squared minus 2x equals negative x squared plus 2x minus 2. Yes, you can put the negative x squared on that side. Yes. It does not matter which side, which one goes on. You just know because they're both equal to y, they're both equal to each other.
So this time will we add the negative x opposite?
I would try, yeah, honestly, I would keep your x squared positive. I hate dealing with a negative a value, but it doesn't matter either way. Either way, it will work. Okay, I keep my x squareds positive, so I'm going to add x squared. I'm going to then subtract 2x, and I'm going to add 2. Okay, you can do those all as separate steps. I just did everything all together. So everything that was on the right, I'm moving to the left, so I'm changing all the signs. Again, that means I add x squared, subtract my 2x, and add my 2. So when I finish this up, I actually get 2x squared minus 4x plus 2. Because when you add like terms, you only add the coefficients.
So what would you do? Change the exponent.
when you multiply. So if I would multiply x squared times x squared, it would be x to the 4th.
It would just be x.
1.
2x.
It'd be 1x to the 4th. So when I add these, you keep your like term of x squared and you add your coefficients. So 1 plus 1 gives me 2. But when I multiply them, you multiply your coefficients. 1 times 1 is 1, and then you add your exponents. Okay. All right, so now, just because your a value is a 2, I would not complete the square with this one. What you want to do instead?
Factoring.
Factoring. All right, so we need a box. Bam. Okay, before I put stuff into my box, what's the first thing you should ask yourself? Is there a greatest common factor?
It is.
Yes, there's a 2. So let's pull out that 2. Which means I'm left with x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay, so that means 1 goes here, and my x squared goes here. I need to make myself a t-chart. What can I multiply together that's going to give me 1x squared? That's going to give me negative 2 when I add them. Negative 1 and negative 1. So this is a negative 1x and a negative 1x. Okay, so when I pull out, this column shares an x. I'm going to do this at the bottom so it doesn't get mixed up with that. So these share an x. These ones share a negative 1. This one shares an x, and these ones share a negative 1. So my answer is x minus 1 times x minus 1 equals 0. Don't forget your 2. Well, I haven't found a value for x yet, but I need to take one of these factors and set it equal to 0. So x minus 1 equals 0. When I add 1 to both sides, x equals 1. Do I really need to do that second factor?
No, it's the same thing.
No, it's the same thing. Okay, so if they're the same thing, you don't have to do the second side. How do I find my y value now? Plug it in. Okay, pick any one of those equations you want from the top. So I do the first one too because it's less work. So x squared minus 2x, when you plug it in, you get 1 squared minus 2 times 1, which comes out to be negative 1. Yes, because 1 squared is 1, and 2 times 1 is 2, so 1 minus 2 gives you negative 1. Yes, ma'am.
How did you pull out like a negative 1?
You're fine. I'd rather you ask than sit there and wonder. Okay. Anybody else? Questions, issues, problems? All right. So we've got practice. Practice number 1. It says solve by graphing. Okay. From here, I'm going to show you how to do all of this on the calculator. Okay. I'm not worried about algebraic anymore. Okay, you all know how to do it algebraically. Let's practice with what you need to do with a calculator. So, I'm going to switch back over to my computer so we can pull this calculator up here, friends. Please clear out your calculator because I don't know what's been done on it. Second plus 712.
You want me to do that?
You can. That's fine. I will gladly let you run that. Yes. Let me get through one, and then you can move back and we're doing the next one. Is there a reason you're facing the wall? Because I'm going to remove you from that chair, and you're going to go back into the regular population if you cannot focus over your friend. Okay, so when you're solving a system of equations, you've got two equations. So you'll go to y equals, you'll plug the first equation in for y1 and the second equation in for y2. So your first one should be negative x squared plus 4x plus 1, and y squared should be negative x plus 5. Okay, before you hit graph, what am I graphing here? What's the first picture going to look like? Parabola. What's it going to be doing? It's going to be facing down. How do you know that? Because it's negative.
Which one did you put in?
Okay.
It's on the other side.
Oh,
Opposite.
yeah, we're here. Practice
Because
one.
I was looking.
Yeah, we're practice one. That's the right side folded over. Okay. What's my second equation look like? It's a line. And because my x is negative, my line should be going downhill. Okay, hit graph. Okay, there's your parabola. There's your line. How many answers should I have here?
2.
2. Okay, so 2 solutions. I'm going to show you both ways to do this. Okay. So from here, I want you to go to second trace. That's your calculation screen where we found your min and max and your zeros. Now I want to know where my 2 lines cross. So I'm looking for, say it louder, intersection. Okay. So you want choice number 5. Either scroll down and hit enter or just hit 5. Okay. Intersection is super easy. When you're trying to find the intersection, all I want you to do is use the left or right arrows to move that as close to where the 2 lines cross as possible. Okay, so we're going to do the left one first. Once you get there, literally hit enter 3 times in a row.
Oh,
You
shit.
hit it too many times.
My bad. Hold on, let me do it again. I'm giving up.
You said 1 and positive 4?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. To get your second intersection, you go back to that calculation screen. So second trace, intersection again, and this time move it closer to that second intersection. And hit enter, enter, enter. 4, 1. Okay, now, if your solutions are whole numbers, another way you can look at it, again, only if it's whole numbers. If there's decimals, this will not work. If you hit second graph and go to your table, if you look when x is 1, look at your y values. Both of them are 4. That's how you know that's the intersection. When x is 1, both equations are the same answer. When x is 4, both equations are the same answer. So you can also use your table, okay? So that is an option, okay? Let's move on to number 2. Again, my suggestion to you, especially if you change your window at all, to clear out your calculator. I'm sorry, guys. My allergies are killing me. Like, my nose all of a sudden is just like, ugh.
And then they started going.
Yeah, it's not helping. Okay, so your second one is 5x minus 20 and x squared minus 5x plus 5. There's my first one. There's my second one. Okay, so here's my thing. How many times does this cross?
Once.
No, it's not many solutions. If it was many, it would be a quadratic, and it would literally be on top of each other.
It's one.
Okay, obviously you can see it crosses at least once. Okay, we can't really see anything else. So we kind of want to zone in on that spot. So you've got a magical button. Please go to Zoom. I don't, but we're going to use it. And I want you to hit choice number 1, Zoom box. Okay, so I want to zone in on this section right here and see what's happening. So you're going to bring this cursor, move it to the right, Tay. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. And now take it up, Tay. See how that's creating a box?
Yeah.
Everything inside of this box is what you're going to be able to see now. Keep going up.
Oh, okay.
Up, 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 up. Okay. Hit enter.
Yeah, I'm like confused.
Woo!
Crazy. I'm confused as to what I did wrong. I guess I did click it first.
Did you hit Zoom and Zoom process?
Huh? What?
The first
one. To hit Zoom and Zoom box.
Where is the box? I see that.
Cursors, right?
Also,
There we go. That's one. Okay. So when you hit Zoom box, when it pops up, you need to hit enter so it'll start creating your box. So hit enter before you drag it to the right and then drag it up. We quit out. Yeah. All I did was quit out, so you can go back and do it over again. Okay, I'm going to turn on the light so some of you, because it's hard to see those calculator screens.
You said a lot. I thought, okay. How far over did you go?
So as long as you go past your picture, you want to go past your picture. So you want to go like somewhere. Yep. Yep. Now go up.
All right. I'm sorry.
You didn't start your box. Okay, so I would go back over here first. And I would start it. So I would start it like here. So you want to hit enter to start it. And drag it over.
That's a little too. Please just call you Paisley.
I need help. So that blows up your picture. Listen, I love you to death, but when I'm working with somebody, I don't need to hear Miss Smith, Miss Smith, Miss Smith. I got you. I'm coming. What you doing? Yes, you can use that. So 5.
Bruh, I'm so ready to go home. Go to sleep.
So then answer.
So-
I get my bitch yesterday.
Do second trace and find the intersection. Okay. So you want.
Let me just.
What?
It's fall.
Oh,
Okay, enter.
okay.
Drag it to the right.
Did you hear that? That was so upbeat.
And everything inside that box is all zoom in. So you want to go clear to the top so you can see all of that.
So it's 5 and 5.
Okay, yes. So mine came up 4.999999 and 4.999999. It's 5. Okay, your answer is 5. Good. So now you would do second intersection or second trace to find your intersection.
Oh,
It won't let me calculate. It's hard to do this side of the earth.
I say error.
Error.
Oh.
Error, no sign change.
yeah, right.
Intersection.
So,
Perfect. Okay. So there it only crosses once at 5,5. Okay. Clear out your calculator for one more with me. Yes, you're gonna do the last 3 on your own.
Say, where are my braids?
Okay.
I took them jumps.
X minus 5 for your first equation, and x squared minus 5x plus 5 for your second equation. Plus 5. Okay? They don't intersect. So that means no solution. Okay, so what I want you to do is if you open that back up, on the right-hand side, you will see practice 4, 5, and 6. I want you to complete those. Come show me. When you're done, you have IXL to be working on. Okay.